let's do this perks tier list. The main thing I want to do regarding this is, and I talked to Chad about it a lot, is what perks do I think are essential? Let's say essential. Versus / as projectiles, right? Because I think this is a big deal. Because these perks will be a little different than this. Versus / as projectiles. Well, the main thing I can do is like offense. This is how I want to structure it. Best offense, best defense, best utility, the rest, right? So, I actually think essential is kind of a lot of perks, or let's just say they work in general. Let's see, what are good ones? For sure this is up here. For sure this is up here. For sure this is up here. I don't think these two matter that much, honestly. Let's move this up. Let's move this here. This isn't good yet. This isn't good yet. This isn't good yet. This isn't good yet. This isn't good. No, this is pretty good, actually. This is pretty good. I don't think this is good yet. I think this can be good. Let's add a final tier at a row above. Can I change the color? Easy. Because collateral is character specific. Collateral is really good with Steven. I don't think a lot of the sheer defense ones matter. I don't think this matters. I don't think sheer defense is that good. Faster dodge and vulnerability recharge, I don't think it matters that much. I also don't think a lot of the utility ones are that great. I don't think you need more fast fall speed. I think dodge distance can be good. I think dodging an attack to get ability cooldown can be good. I'll probably lose it though. I think air acceleration in general is really good out of the mobility ones. Dodge speed, I think, can be good. Like they champ jump height, I think it can be good. Last stand. You know what? I actually don't think jump speed and jump height matter that much. I think coffee is really good. I think school me once. This is the projectile debuff, really good. I don't think waiting for your guy to get wrung out is really good. Rain dog's pretty good, but I'm gonna put it in character specific. Ice is also character specific, although I think it's really good. Dead shot I don't think is that good. I don't think fire is that good anymore, but we'll put it here as well. Targets and hit stun, this might become better. Absorb and go is really good. Gray health, I think gray health is still solid, but not for everybody. Clear the air, I think this one's a really good defense perk. Longer dodge and vuln window, I think this is also solid. I think this is character specific. Slippery when faint. I don't think this matters. I don't think this matters. I think this is really good. I don't think this is that good yet. Alright. So this is the base of how I feel about the perks. I think Snowball and Lumpy are just phenomenally strong offensive perks. Because usually when you kill somebody, it's going to be a melee attack in the air. Snowball is really strong. Lumpy is also really strong. And this is the debuffed. It's really easy to debuff with certain characters. The essential one from here, I would say Snowball. I think Snowball is just damage. It doesn't matter if it's melee. It doesn't matter if it's vertical or not vertical. Sheesh. So Snowball as a whole, I think, is essential. Lumpy is a little more consistent, but I don't think you need consistent in this game. One thing that I think is really good from defense, I actually think Toon Elasticity is an essential perk. There's a lot of times you end up getting a kill from bouncing somebody off the ground. And this is one of the biggest survivability perks. I think there are 3 survivability perks, and I think those perks are kind of the essentials. So to me, it's Toon Elasticity, Tasmanian Trigonometry, and Triple Jump. These 3 perks are, in my opinion, kind of the only survivability perks. And I think that's a really, really big deal. Extra 15, it makes a big deal. It makes a big difference. Yeah. If it doesn't work, if your team has the highest damage, I think that's fine. Because it's a snowball, right? I'd rather have high highs than consistence. But the big deal here, I think these 3 are the biggest perks when it comes to surviving, and this is of course the best offensive perk. It's not consistent, but the difference of 15 versus 10 is really large. It's pretty simple to make a game plan based off of, hey, this guy has the highest damage, let's go for him. This guy doesn't have the highest damage, let's do other things. You know? I think it's super simple. In contrast, I don't actually like this up and a slay perk. I think is pretty I don't think it's that great because it's only upwards, while in comparison percussive punch can be a little better because it's all horizontal, versus, you know, up. This doesn't work with downers, doesn't work with moves that go down, and I kind of think that sucks personally. Another thing regarding let's say the defensive perks. Defensive perks are really, really big. Defensive perks, one, this is the projectile block, amazing perk to have. It makes fighting Tom and Jerry, Velma, sometimes Iron Giant, Batman, like the list goes on. Having the defensive perk, I think, the projectile block, really, really huge. But if you don't want the projectile block in your character with really long cooldowns, you can take the ability cooldown refund. This way, each time you get hit, you just get a flat amount of your cooldown back. I think both are kind of the way to go when it comes to anti-projectile, outside of sheer movement. And then you also have these 2, where if you neutral dodge, I don't think too much about this one. So this one is your team destroys an enemy projectile after you neutral dodge it. So I saw Zage, the Velma, playing against Mirror Man, and I think he had this, and he neutral dodged the safe. And I'm pretty sure I saw bug safe get reflected. Could be wrong, but I think this is going to be really good. Probably a little better in LAN environment with 1 counter picks and 2 really good connection. And overall, dodge and vulnerability is a pretty big deal. So having a longer dodge and vulnerability window, I think is really good. CoffeeZilla, it's very easy to use. You don't really, like, it's not hard to use, it's just there. If you're playing a character with really long cooldowns, throw it on, and there's a lot of characters that do have it. However, there are certain characters that don't have cooldowns, so they wouldn't really want to use it. So in a way, you could think of CoffeeZilla a little more character specific, which, one thing to note, like character specific, 1, ice and fire, not every character has a projectile. Not every character actually has a way to, like, use both of these perks, even though they're really good. I think ice is a lot better than fire. I don't think fire does a lot of damage anymore, which is a good thing. I think fire not doing a lot of damage is a good thing. But ice just constantly slowing the game down is really important. So I think Ice is definitely one of like the top tier perks if your team can use it. Fire a little lagging behind it. Collateral is really good with Steven. There's a lot of characters that are really good with dodging. Let's say like Harley, Finn, even like Batman, Soups. Having good dodge distance is really good. Aerial, Acrobat, Air Acceleration. So if you might have noticed earlier, I said I don't like a lot of the jump perks, like jump speed or speed in general. I like Air Acceleration a lot. Air Acceleration will help you with recovering no matter what. It'll help you with chasing when somebody's above you. It'll help you get to somebody horizontally. Like, a lot of the game can be a little bit better for your character if you have Air Acceleration on. Even for like Tom and Jerry, when I play with Air Acceleration, I'm like, this is nice because I can try to follow somebody a lot easier. Again, this is a dodge one. Last Stand, character specific, I think this is good with Shaggy. It's a flat 10%. The only thing about this, which is both a pro and a con, I don't think you really have to stack it, because stacking it makes it pop earlier, which can help, but if you do have a team where you don't really want to stack this, I think it helps out a lot. Rain Dog's really good. Projectile speed is always nice. It makes your moves a little more active. You can argue like Rain Dog can be used offensively and defensively, which is something that like usually only triple jump and let's say not so much ice. Usually like triple jump and maybe a few others. So just making your moves faster is really good. But not everybody has projectiles. This is another perk that's really good unstacked, because if you stack Rain Dog, it gets a 5% increase, which isn't that big, you know. Painted Target, I think this will become a little better once combos become a little better. Having just like a flat 10% during a combo is nice, but not every move is a combo. It's a big reason why I think Lumpy and Hit 'em while they're down is a little better. Gray Health got nerfed. This is not anywhere near what it used to be, but still having like a flat 3 health every time you hit a projectile is good. But this goes back to not everyone has a projectile, so it's not super solid. And I actually think this ability cooldown per hit on a debuffed opponent counts for ice. Ice is a debuff, so you just put a stack of ice on somebody and you just get cooldowns back. I think it's really good. The big con here is you have to commit 2 perk slots to it in comparison to 1 in CoffeeZilla. And again, not everybody has a method to applying ice. So it can work out really well, but if you need the perk slot for just any of the other perks, I think it's really good. Or I mean, not it's really good, I think it's better to use something else. Now, in each of like the categories, there's decent options regarding cooldown reduction, fighting projectiles. I don't think a lot of the movement stuff is good right now, which it could be different, but I'm a fan of pre-positioning in comparison. And I think the pre-positioning will go a little farther, but it can help you if you're a little late, you know? So I think Snowball is really good. There's a lot of instances during a game where you can hit somebody that's at the highest percent and you can kill them a lot earlier, and then you just start playing elsewhere. I think teams, both the player and the opponent, can play around it super hard, but I think overall Snowball is really good. The ones down here that I could think that are good, the thing about the projectiles, this one, like, I'm not trying to get my projectiles to do like that much more damage. I think electric isn't that good right now. I think this could become good, but it's a little more situational. Armor Crush, I've seen people use it against Wonder Woman. So maybe this will go into more character specific if you have strong chargeable moves that are kind of big. Essential just means you should have these. Have these, use them if you can. But you don't, the thing about the perks is you don't use all of the perks in every situation. Like when I play Tom in ones, sometimes I use Ice, Cooldown, and Rain Dog, you know? So it's not that like you use these all the time, but I think there's a lot of situations where you can use all of these perks a little more than the others, because in a platform fighter, one of the biggest things for you is survivability, right? So the better you can survive, the more opportunities you get. You make your life bar bigger. And this is the biggest difference with just like a 1 perk addition to make somebody's life bar lower. That's a big thing why I have these perks in Essential. But there are some situations where, you know, again, I don't run any of these perks, or, you know, it's a case-by-case basis. So yeah, that's kind of how I feel about the perks right now. This could change in like a week. This could change in like a day. But this is kind of where I stand. Even this is a little more character specific, but I have faith. I have faith. Oh no, it's debuffed enemies. Huh. Whoa! I just thought of something. Thanks to everybody who's watching the tier or the perk tier list video, because I just got a really good idea. I'm gonna try running hit them while they're down with ice, because ice, if I'm not mistaken, counts as a debuff. I'm gonna go live it right now. We'll see if it's true or not.